What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be covering and reviewing Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 4. Before I start the review, please subscribe, like, and share this video if you like any of my content. And yeah, this episode was really good. I love how this episode really focused on Bullseye's redemption arc. Well, sort of redemption arc. Because we get, like, Bullseye, I don't know what their plans are for Bullseye, but, like, I think they're kind of turning him into an anti-hero. And with the way that this iteration of Daredevil has depicted Bullseye, they can do that, right? Because Fisk basically turned Benjamin Poindexter. Not basically, he did. He turned Benjamin Poindexter into Bullseye, right? And this episode calls back to a lot of things that happened in the Netflix series, which I find really cool, right? For me, this episode really showed that, like, Fisk is breaking at the seams, right? And I think the ending of this episode really is going to do that, right? Because Matt, after, like, liberating all of Fisk's enemies from the prison that him and Swordsman did last episode, right? Him and the Resistance, right? Daredevil and the Resistance are recording, like, confessionals of people saying, like, Fisk or Wilson Fisk or the Kingpin kidnapped me and did all this stuff to me, and they're going to use that to try to get Fisk out of office, probably. But then Matt finds out about what Bullseye did, and Kingpin finds out about what Bullseye did. So Kingpin is putting on this boxing match that he's telling New York is for charity and for like the goodness of the city and whatnot. But we all know that it's not. It's so that Kingpin can smuggle weapons into New York, and it's more of a distraction and more of a like, Kingpin is hoping that Daredevil and Bullseye show up to try to kill him, which they do this episode, but we'll get there, right? Try to stop him, because Daredevil doesn't kill. Bullseye will try to kill him, right? Or try to kill people that are close to Fisk, right? And then we basically get, like, Kirsten, like, completely joining the Resistance because her and Matt's law firm get raided by the Vigilante Task Force assholes, and then we get another scene of Matthew Lillard's character, Mr. Charles, and Kingpin interacting, and let's just say they don't like each other very much, because Matthew Lillard's character, Mr. Charles, plays or is the way Matthew Lillard plays him, he's like, I would like to call Mr. Charles, like, a lovable asshole. Because when he's on screen, he really challenges Kingpin and irks Kingpin the wrong way. But Kingpin can't do anything because Mr. Charles works for, what's her name? DeFaregla DeFontaine. She works for Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character, who leads the CIA and also leads one of the new Avengers teams, right? So like he can't do anything because he has an alliance with her, sort of, to like smuggle weapons all over the world through the Red Hook, New York part. Uh, Through the Red Hook, New York thing that Fisk built, right? And um and you can see how much Fisk gets irritated by Matthew Lillard's character, Mr. Charles, and 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 they don't like each other. So I'm very interested to see. I'm very interested to see if Mr. Charles is just a, like, I guess you can call him like a pawn, or is he actually a bigger character? They just haven't revealed it yet, right? Because Kingpin, he's not afraid of Mr. Charles, and like, but he's very, let's just say, very wary of Mr. Charles, because he has Buck kill like Mr. Charles' security, and is like, I told you I would get your weapons to, um, I would get your weapons to where you want me to get them to. I just have bigger problems than that right now, right? And then, we have Matt tracking down where Bullseye is. Now, this may be one of the coolest things that I've ever seen Daredevil use his powers for, or one of the coolest ways I've ever seen Daredevil use his powers, right? So how Matt finds Bullseye is he finds out that Bullseye went to the church that Matt used to live at and that his mom was a nun at, right? And and he talks to the priest in training and is like, uh was anybody here? I need to find this guy. And while that's going on, like, Matt is dressed up as one of the vigilante task force guys because Matt has a disguise of a vigilante task force guy, right? And I really like this show in particular, this iteration of the show, because some of the scenes show how smart Daredevil is and how much of a detective he is, right? Like, it's the same reason why I love Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' Batman so much. It shows how badass they are, but it also shows how Daredevil's a detective, right? So like we get a lot of that this episode with Daredevil being a detective. So how he basically finds where Bullseye is and where Bullseye is living is he like uses his radar sense to like track and hear where Bullseye is, because obviously he knows how Bullseye sounds, right? And again, I love how this show depicts being blind. I love how this show depicts being blind. And I also love the way that Charlie Cox plays Matt Murdock, right? Right? And the reason why is because to a visually impaired person, and I can speak to this because I'm autistic, I'm visually impaired, and I have cerebral palsy, right? To a visually impaired person, our ears are our eyes, right? And Matt uses his ears and uses his powers to find out where Bullseye is. Then we get a little fight between Matt and Bullseye. Matt and Bullseye round, what is it, 5, right? If you include the Netflix series, round 5, right? And Matt still hates Bullseye, because even though Vanessa ordered the kill of Foggy, Bullseye's the one that um Bullseye's the one that carried out the hit, basically. So we get a little fight, and in this fight specifically between Matt and Bullseye, we see how on equal standing they are, because literally Bullseye throws a CD, like a CD at Matt, and Matt catches it and Bullseye doesn't have the upper hand this fight, but it shows how equal matched they are because, like, um, Bullseye's not as good at like fighting, like up close as Matt is, right? Because Matt is he's trained in multiple different martial arts, but he's trained a little bit in boxing, right? And so we get a little fight between them, and then he's like, and then Bullseye gets Matt to calm down because he takes his neighbor hostages and is like, one good deed, when I or when Fisk, I mean when I can't do a good Bullseye voice, but when Fisk killed your friend or hired someone to kill your friend, and then he's like, don't mention him, not here, not like this, right? Which to me means that Matt's getting to the point where he wants to hear Bullseye out, right? Right? And because Bullseye was hired by Vanessa to kill Foggy, right? He didn't just go out and kill Foggy. He was hired to do it, right? So obviously there's still bad blood between Matt and Bullseye, but he's like, one good deed. Let me do one good deed. And then he's like, what do you want to do? And then he's like, Fisk. You want to kill Fisk. And then he's like, let me do this. So then he lets the hostage go, stuns Daredevil for a second, like throws something at Daredevil, and then he runs to the boxing match. While the boxing match is going on, Fisk literally dismantles the guy that he's fighting against. Like, he bodies him. Like, whoever was doing the sound design for this episode, I want to give them props. Because every punch that Fisk lands, like, you can tell bones are breaking in this guy's face. Right? Like, he literally is just beating this guy senseless to the point where Fisk kills the guy that he's boxing against, which scares the public that is watching the fight, obviously, because Fisk is also the mayor of New York. You don't think of the mayor of New York as a guy that's capable of what Fisk just did to the guy that he was boxing against. And then he tells Vanessa, he tells Vanessa, I don't want you at this fight. It's not safe for you, right? That's my best Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin voice. It's not safe for you, right? My enemies are coming after you. My enemies means Bullseye's coming after you, right? But Vanessa's like, because Vanessa had just had a meeting with the governor of New York, and is like, she's like, the governor of New York's like, I won't support Fisk on his own because I'm nervous about how he's using his power, but I will support Fisk and you by his side. I will support Fisk and Mrs. Fisk, right? So Vanessa had a meeting with the governor. Then she went to the boxing match to, one, watch her husband win, right? And two, she knows that Bullseye's after her, so she wants to, like, not lure him out, but she wants to be there. So basically what happens is Vanessa is like, kiss me, Wilson. Kiss me, right? Because we need to show the public that you are a human and not just a raging monster, right? Right? Because Vanessa brings out the human in Fisk, right? And then Bullseye again. The Bullseye action scenes are crazy this episode, by the way, guys. Bullseye again is like ching, 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 ching. Like, he throws a bunch of knives, takes out a bunch of a bunch of vigilante task force guys, and um, is like trying to kill Vanessa and Wilson, and he throws like this glass. I guess you can call it like a snow globe, or it looks like a snow globe. He throws like this glass snow globe. Vanessa shoots him in like where is it? The chest, I think. Blows him back for a second. Then Daredevil stops. Like, Daredevil basically saves Bullseye's life because whenever you go after Kingpin's wife, he gets really upset, right? He gets really, really upset. So Kingpin grabs Vanessa's gun and is trying to kill Poindexter. Matt, Benjamin Poindexter, Bullseye, and Matt literally like uses his billy club, throws the gun out of Kingpin's hands with his billy club, then like Bullseye tackles him out the Fogwell Gym's window, and Kingpin's like, "Get them now!" Right? And he he doesn't. Him and Vanessa don't realize. Well, Vanessa realizes it, but Wilson doesn't realize that Vanessa has a big ass glass shard in like the like the top of her head, and and I personally think, and this is just my opinion, I don't know anything that's gonna happen, right? But this is just my opinion. I think Vanessa's gonna die, and I think like Kingpin's already unhinged, but I think if you take the one person away from him that keeps him like sort of human, then um then he goes completely unhinged. And I think Vanessa dies next episode. They didn't say she dies, but dude, she got hit in the temple of the head with a big ass glass shard, and there was a lot of blood. And then you can hear, like, throughout the whole scene, you can hear the fear in Vincent D'Onofrio's delivery as Wilson Fisk. You can hear the fear in Wilson Fisk's voice as he's like, "Get her out of here!" Or I can't do a good like, "Get her out of here!" And then when she gets hit with the glass shard and Wilson realizes it, you can hear the, "Get an ambulance, please!" And then he's like, "Ah!" Right? And let's just say I think Fisk is gonna go on the warpath for, like, he's already on the warpath, but I think he's gonna like go full scorched earth to find Daredevil and Bullseye, and yeah, I think Vanessa's not long for this world, right? I think she dies next episode, and I think that's gonna be a very interesting reunion between Bullseye and Fisk. Very interesting reunion. And then I also think we're gonna get a Daredevil versus Kingpin fight again, right? Because we didn't get that last season, so I'm hoping we get that this season, and I think we're gonna get a Bullseye versus Kingpin fight because I think Bullseye just killed Vanessa. But yeah, for me, this was a great episode. Oh, by the way, guys, I want to apologize to my mother because and I need to work on this. While the episode was going on and while I was watching the episode, especially the ending scene, I was yelling and screaming a lot. So I want to apologize to my mother, and I promise you, Mom, and I promise myself that I am going to work on my controlling my hype and controlling my controlling my hype and stuff like that. Like, I don't need to yell when I get really excited. I usually yell when I get really hyped. So I gotta work on that. So I apologize to my mom for yelling so much during the episode. But during while I was watching the episode. But overall, I really, really, really enjoyed this episode. Again, the performances are great. I love how they visualize Matt Murdock's powers, and this is one of the reasons why I love acting so much. Why I love the acting why I love to act, and why I love to watch actors, because they're storytellers, man. Like TV, video games, music, stage plays. They're all versions of storytelling. Like, even dance. Dance is a version of storytelling, right? And this show and this cast tells a really, really good story. And you guys know my favorite type of performances and the type of actors that I look up to, like Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox, because I look up to them both, right? As actors, right? I love when the actor disappears and they just become the character, and all of the actors in this show do that, and I just want to give props to the actors that do that, because my favorite thing about all forms of entertainment, and why I love to do all forms of entertainment, is you can tell stories, you can make people feel any emotion that you want to, depending on what the subject matter of the piece is, and that's why I love entertainment, and that's why I love doing entertainment. Like, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm singing, if I'm dancing, if I'm acting, if I'm rapping, if I'm like I love to see actors do what they have trained their whole lives to do, and that they love to do. And I just want to shout out the whole cast of this show for telling a really good story, and for doing it really, really well. And I also want to shout out the writing team. And I don't know if I forgot, but I also want to shout out the sound department. Whoever had the sound department when the Fisk versus the boxer in the boxing match, shout out to that dude, because the sound design in the whole show is great. The sound design in that, though, was like top tier. So yeah, and yeah, thank you so much for all your support. I would give this episode a 10 out of 10. And yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day, and God bless you guys.